Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez there. Now let's head to Madrid to speak to Simon Hunter, the editor of the English edition of the newspaper El País. Now, Mr. Hunter, how did the Prime Minister arrive at this figure, 3 times as many as has been reported so far?
Well, as you mentioned, he attributed it to studies. He didn't go into a huge amount of detail. But what we have had in the past are these antibody studies across Spain, similar to ones that have been carried out in other European countries, which have given us a result of around 5.5% of the population having been infected with the coronavirus, having antibodies. And it seems that he's based this calculation on those reports and on other reports that have been carried out. And to be honest, it's not surprising, as the Prime Minister explained, during the first wave of the coronavirus, obviously, health services were overwhelmed. It was very difficult for people to get PCR tests, coronavirus tests, unless they were in hospital, unless they were in a very serious situation. So we already know that there were a huge amount of infections during that first wave that went undetected. And so really, I think the Prime Minister was sort of issuing a warning today that, I mean, as he said, we've got some very difficult months coming ahead. The situation is looking very concerning at the moment in Spain.
We've heard about new measures being announced today. Are the local and national authorities now, are they agreeing on how to handle the situation?
Well, I mean, the big conflict has been between the Madrid regional government and the central government. The Madrid regional government is headed up by the Conservative Popular Party, which is, on a national level, is the main opposition to the Socialist Party coalition government. And they have been the rhetoric has been, it's been very bitter. The rhetoric has been very strong. They're the ones that have been saying that, it's a dictatorship, or when the central government imposes restrictions on the region of Madrid. Now, what's going to happen tomorrow is that a state of alarm that was actually put in place by the central government is going to expire. And we've been waiting until today. We didn't know until today what the Madrid regional government was planning on doing, because it's very difficult for them to limit mobility without the central government's involvement. So finally, we found out today that it's going to be kind of like a curfew in all but name. From midnight till 6 o'clock, we won't be able to meet up with friends, which tells you a bit about the Spanish habits and Spanish social life, that would be necessary. But let's see what happens. The Madrid the Spanish central government may decide that this still isn't going far enough, and there could be more conflict ahead, because the critics say that something like this, restricting people from meeting from midnight till 6 o'clock in the morning, is not going to be enough to curb the infection rates that we've seen in the region over recent weeks.
Simon Hunter there from the Spanish newspaper El País. Thank you so much.